This is episode 165. When you publish a blog post, are you supposed to do anything after? In my last episode, I spoke about the three things you should do immediately after you hit publish. But what's next? In today's episode, I will discuss two important things you need to do to optimize your blog post 1 month after you publish it. So, with that said, let's get started. Welcome to the Calm Marketer Podcast. My name is Kenneth Fong, a digital marketer on a mission to help businesses thrive. I'll bring you on my marketing journey where you'll get to learn from my experiences as an INFP navigating an extroverted world and get actionable marketing tips for your business. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Now let's begin. After you publish a blog article, you know that isn't the final step. If you listen to my previous episode, I gave you three things that you should be doing after you hit publish. Now, after you do that, that's not the end of the story. You need to continue to optimize it and see what other areas you can improve on. Now, 1 month after you hit publish is a really good time to check on your new page's performance because it already had some time to kind of settle in. It's probably been crawled and read by Google more than one time, and your page should be ranking for a few keywords already. So after 1 month, it's a really good time to figure out what you can do to make it rank better. All right, so there's two things that I recommend you should do to optimize your blog page in the 1 month mark. So the first thing that you should be doing is check your Google Search Console. Go to the queries report and see what keywords your page is already ranking for. So how do you find the queries report? So when you log into Google Search Console, you click on Performance. And when you click on Performance, what you should be doing is click on the Pages tab and find that page. You click on that page and click on Queries. So when you click on Queries, it'll show you the top queries that your page ranked for. So a query is essentially a keyword that someone would type in, and these queries are the queries that people actually typed in where your page ranked. So what are you supposed to do with this list of queries? So what you need to do is make sure that you mention and add any of these queries that are not on your page already. All right. So you'll find a ton of queries that are similar to what you are talking about, but are missing from your page. So what you should do is include them in your content. All right. So make sure you add all of these queries that make sense. Now, one thing that you need to be aware of is you don't have to use all the keyword phrases word for word. So don't necessarily copy and paste all the exact keywords that you see. Close sounding phrases are okay as long as they include the topic specific keywords. So for example, if your page is about, um, Los Angeles Los Angeles dentist, you don't need to force Los Angeles dentist into your blog article. You can make it so that it sounds more natural. So you can say Los Angeles, or a dentist located in Los Angeles, right? Or a dentist in the Los Angeles area, or a Los Angeles dentist in the main city center, or something like that. Make it sound natural. If it doesn't make sense, if the query doesn't make sense right off the bat, you can add words between it, before, or after it, right? So once you add all of the queries that make sense, then what you should be doing is publishing that, right? So update your page and see how well it performs. Now, another thing that you should be doing is similar, but I think it's much more powerful. Now, before I tell you this last one, I want to uh, take a few seconds and invite you to leave me a review. Whether or not you like this content or not, I want your feedback. So leave me a review at ratethispodcast.com/the calm marketer. That's ratethispodcast.com/the calm marketer. And let me know what you think. Now, jumping back in. So the second thing that you should be doing 1 month after publication is to use Surfer. Now, Surfer you could use it for free, and you can run an audit to review the state of your topical coverage. So what does that mean? So first thing is, how do you do an audit? So you could create an account, all right? And I have the free version as well. So what you can do is click on the audit tab and type in your main keyword and the page of your, of your blog article. And Surfer will run a full-fledged audit of that page. Now, in this audit, if you scroll down, it'll show you all the terms to use. So the terms to use report is what you should be looking at to audit your page 1 month after you hit publish. Now, the terms to use report lists out the important terms that you should add to make it more topically relevant. Okay, so you will see tons of terms listed here, and it'll give you examples of how you can use these terms. Because in many cases, if you see a term, you don't know how to naturally add it to your page. So what you want to do is click on the examples, and it'll give you, 5 or so examples of how you can use that term in a sentence. And it'll also show you occurrences of a given term on your site. So it'll tell you within this terms to use report whether or not you have added it or not. So you'll see the zeros. The zeros are the ones you should be focusing on. So what you can do is filter by the action. So action tells you how many times you should be adding it. So go to the ones where you need to add the terms. And it'll tell you suggested. So what does suggested mean? It basically tells you the suggested number of times you should be using this term. So it might say 1 or 1 to 2, right? And also relevance. So make sure the terms that you use are close to 100% relevant. If they're not relevant, then you might not want to waste your time to add those terms. So filter by action and make sure you're adding all of these terms on there. And that's a way to make it much more topically relevant. Now, one caveat is you need to use the Google Search Console report, the queries report first, right? So make sure you add all of the top queries according to Google Search Console, and then audit your page using Surfer. Why in this order? Because you want to make sure you are not over-optimizing your page. In many instances, you will see the terms in Surfer listed in the queries report in Google Search Console, right? So make sure you do the Google Search Console report first, and then any remaining terms you haven't added yet, use the Surfer terms, right? So go in that order and you should be good to go, right? So Surfer is one of the top, I would say, on-page SEO tools that are out there right now, and you should use it. It gives you everything you need to do to optimize your page. And if you want a list of terms to use to optimize after 1 month, use it. So to get the tool, go to thecalmmarketer.co/surfer. That's thecalmmarketer.co/surfer. So you can learn more about the tool and get it. So with that said, hopefully you thought this episode was helpful, and I will speak to you on the next one, where I will be discussing how you can optimize your blog post 4 months after you hit publish. So I will speak to you then.